Lying in the coral seas, just north of Australia, New Guinea, with an area of more than 300,000 square miles, is the world's largest tropical island. Its vast interior is a rugged mass of wildly beautiful mountain ranges, rising tier upon tier to the very heart of the island. But here, all semblance to paradise ends, for the primitive people who for countless generations have inhabited these mountain places live by the jungle law of an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. The bow and arrow is their constant companion, for every neighboring village is a potential enemy. At an altitude of 5,000 feet, the town of Goroka has recently sprung up, center of government and headquarters of the Eastern Highlands Mission of Seventh-day Adventist. Here at his clinic, medical missionary Len Barnard is preparing supplies for a 6-week trek to the primitive tribes back in the mountains.
After preparing, we set a date and then we set off in the Land Rover. From Goroka we would have gone, say, 50 miles to the western side of this mighty Mount Michael, and then we unloaded and we hired a group of 35 carriers and handed out the gear that we were to take on the trip. The first day I'll never forget, it rained. We started about midday and it poured with rain, and we had to go down this deep, steep gully, absolute filthy mud all the way. It was an arduous trip because every day we'd walk 4 or 5 hours. When we came to a village, we'd line up all the village, and everyone would receive firstly an injection of penicillin because it was basically an anti-yaws patrol. And this would stamp out the disease which was very prevalent in this area. So we treated the sick, and then we hung up the picture roll and we began to tell them about God the Creator and Jesus his Son. What fed my initial desire to go down there was one of my workers decided he was going to walk down to Karamui. The chief said, "Where are you going?" Karamui said, "Don't go there. We've sent people there, but they've never come back. Every one of them have been killed and eaten." Well, he went down there and he came back, and he told me of such pitiful degradation and such astounding needs, medical needs and spiritual needs, of course. The men came down a very rickety stair with their bows and arrows and their tomahawks, and when they came down, they looked very curious toward us. But we opened up our medicine chest, and we would see someone who was sick or had an injury or something, we'd treat them. Just like the Lord, when he was on the earth, he treated the sick and then he spoke to them. And it's a beautiful approach.
It was on this journey that he envisioned the Adventist Aviation service. Pastor Len Barnard helped the villagers set up airstrips so that the first plane could fly supplies and medical staff into an area in dire need.
In the past 40 years, since Pastor Len Barnard made that historic trek into Karamui, much has changed. Today, there's no cannibals in that area that we know about. Many hundreds, many thousands of those people are Christians today, Seventh-day Adventist Christians.
Today, the descendants of the Karamui are celebrating the contribution that the Adventist Aviation Service has made.
Much has not changed. It is still a long way away. There is still no roads. That trek that took Len over 6 weeks, I just flew yesterday, 20 minutes out, 20 minutes back. But there are many thousands of villages, many hundreds of places with small bush airstrips that when we land there, they're asking the same questions they asked Len Barnard 40 years ago. When can we have a clinic? When can we have a teacher? When can we have a nurse? When can somebody come and teach us about the Bible?
There are still Adventist ministers in Papua New Guinea hiking 12 days a month to their local mission office in order to return tithes and offerings and collect supplies like Sabbath school lesson pamphlets.
Church members in Papua New Guinea are passionate about the need of Adventist aviation. In this province of Eastern Highlands alone, last year, the members contributed over 40,000 kina. That's an enormous amount. Most of those people are subsistence farmers. Some of them have little or no income, but some contributed cash, some contributed kind. 1977 was the last time that Adventist church members around the world contributed to the work and mission of Adventist Aviation in Papua New Guinea, when our last new Cessna 206 aircraft was purchased. The aircraft behind me is over 26 years old now. We are in desperate need of a new, high-performance, efficient aircraft that will reduce our maintenance load and increase our capacity to serve the people of this country.
Well, I flew 5,000 hours, and they were mainly on relatively short trips and under very difficult circumstances. But we would visit the people to encourage them. We'd take in missionaries. We'd take in supplies. We'd evacuate the sick people. Sometimes it would be the husband or the children or the wife that had to be evacuated and taken to our mission hospital.